So I've just been running Fashnot and working on my camp. Um, so I'll show you the camp. This is where players will spawn in at, looking straight right at the vending machine. So that's pretty great, right? You know. Um, and I've been fiddling around with the building underground thing. Um, and things that used to work don't work anymore. So there's that. You used to be that if you put this underground, the enemies that spawn on the top of it will fall off from it, and they would just fall down into the Netherlands, and you'd never have, it just didn't exist. Now, when they fall off that, they pop back up top like you do if you fall down. So putting it down there doesn't really solve the problem anymore of not getting your camp attacked. But what I've also noticed is that if the enemies that spawn at your camp to attack your camp, the ones that spawn on your camp unit, they're I don't they're flagged to attack high level things. Like if you have a fusion generator, they'll go right after that. Um, the highest level thing I have, I guess, in their view, is the Collectron. So when like that'll spawn mole rats every so often is what I happen to get here, and they'll damage this to the point where the robot just walks around because he can't get back in it anymore. But that's the only thing that they seem to destroy here this way, because everything else they would destroy is under the ground where they can't get to it. So they destroy that, and either my ally will kill them or they'll just wander off. Um, but I've been playing around, and what I've been doing was putting the bulk of the things that are like costly to rebuild if it gets damaged. Um, Separate, on one side of the plane from where the camp unit is, so that now nothing, I don't have to worry about mole rats chewing on my generator or the weather station. And then I used I used a lot of shit, but I used primarily that Vault 63 door to hide the piece of foundation, because you used to be able to, you could put a foundation piece and then a stairs, and then use one of those little like the alien runway pieces, and then you could build all your shit and then delete that alien runway piece, and it would let you delete the stairs and the foundation, and then you could have your structure just fucking floating. Well, that doesn't work anymore. So I'm sure there's a way, but within my knowledge, I don't know how to do it without having the foundation piece that starts above the ground. Or if I was going to float up in the air, there'd still have to be a foundation piece with the stairs going up. But what I wanted to do was hide that from up above so it's not obvious. I mean, a lot of players, they'll see a symptomatic sunken to the ground and they understand what the fuck's going on. They'll come down here and look around. But like new players, they won't. It's an illusion for them. They won't know. They might see you pop up out of the ground and leave your camp, and they're scratching their head how in the fuck you did that. But Fashnot's been okay. Most of these, like these two, this I traded for the turkey. I got actually two of these now. The puppy dog one. I got two more death claws, so now I have three death claws again. Which and I just gave one away because what I made a rule kind of to myself that if anything I got triplets of, I would give the triplet for the giveaway. And anything I had doubles of, I would keep the doubles for trying to trade for something I didn't already have. And actually, I wanted the turkey, so I traded a glowing one that I didn't have a duplicate of for the turkey. So really, I didn't gain anything there. I just got the turkey instead of whichever Scorch Beast one has the blue crown. That was the one I traded for that, and I think that a lot of that is just speculation. That I think that because this is the brightest ass colored one, that a year from now this is going to be the one that is worth the most money. That was the gamble I took. Whether it pays off or not, we'll see. But I mean, a lot of the old school ones I have doubles of. So I mean, I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to say, "Hey, I got a whatcha whatcha. I'm looking for a whatcha whatcha," and actually that I would have it. And so far, I only that one time I've had it. Um, these are those herdsman bells, which I just finally decided to put out on display. These are the only two I have. I haven't seen any others. I don't know what others exist. Um, I honestly expected something a little bit more than like 2 pixels. Um, but I did notice that there was this flare display, and then I thought, well, oh Jesus, all the flares that I've gotten over the years that I don't use, most of them, because they were on a scoreboard or they came in a bundle, or you know what I mean. So I mean, most of them weren't ones that I bought to use on my backpack, but now I found there's a way to display them. Um, and then this is the Vault 63 hazmat suit, which I actually haven't got the plan yet to craft it. I actually bought that out of somebody's vending machine, but that's a new hazmat suit, which is awesome. So you should keep your eye out for that. And then I put up all the Steins that I have. The new Foshnot one. But yeah, I mean that's basically it. And then we were talking about this the other day, and they're right. They're still things, but they're not the same. Okay, this is what it used to be, right? Is we had these scoreboards. So I mean, I can look back at this and I can go, you know what? This is how many individual rewards they were this season. This was fucking awesome when you were going through this, and when you were here, you could still see the awesome ass fucking thing down here that you super ass wanted without having to scroll through 7 pages of dog shit to get to it. And then there was little things around on here, and you could play them, and you could listen to like stories and shit, and it was tied into the Pip-Boy, and oh my god, it was so great these times. So anyway, that's why I put this down here, and I wasn't sure how to do it, and I started off, I just ran this hallway that's down here, right off along here, but the ground is shallow, the way that the ground sloped over here. So like you can see above the ground, and I ended up building out of the ground, so I had to build it down to be able to fit it in, so it's not as immersive, I guess. It's kind of stupider, but I wanted to have that because I miss that. And then these stairs, because of the way that is, they don't work, and you end up spawning in all that shit where you can't really get out of. So I decided, rather than new players thinking that's the way out, I would just do that. And then if you have that player that doesn't, I mean, anybody with marsupial can jump up and out, but if you don't have that, you can jump up on those boxes and get out. But I mean, it's not perfect, obviously, but I mean, I did quite a bit to make it less obvious that there's a foundation piece in there. So I mean, unless you know what you're looking for and you're really looking for it, you won't see it. So that's something I was kind of proud of. And then I've been working on other things that I played around with. Like I've been messing around with like that butter churn they give us. Really stupid that they give us something that takes a fucking wire now that they give us a generator that you can power shit without the wire. So I've been exploring ways to power that without the wire. And what I found is that you can put a generator directly below it, and then you could put the wire comes up through it where it's clipped through the unit and you can't see the wire. So it makes the wire totally invisible. And I had that over here. But what I like is the idea of the tent at my camp, because then if when I load into the game, if my camp can't be loaded, my tent can't be loaded, I get the warning for my tent. And if I'm not playing with friends, if my camp's not placed, I'm going to go find a different server. You know what I mean? So it saves me the time of loading in and loading out and that dicking around. And the because I know that I may, with the new shit that's coming down to the new area again here soon, I may end up needing a survival tent somewhere that's not here. So I didn't want to really clutter it up. So all I did was put a an ammo box inside of it. And then that's another thing that's nice. If somebody comes here, right, a new player, they come to the vendor, they buy some shit, and they're over encumbered, they can't leave. They recognize, hey, survival tent, and it's got everything, all the boxes that they could possibly need in here. Um, and I haven't decided yet. I mean, I have down below. There's a crafting station, which suffices my needs here. Um, but I would like to put something up here that's more obvious. But I haven't decided what to do on that note yet. Um, but yeah, I just realized that this was very untypical and not in fashion of a rant. But anyway, and that's that's where we're at with the camp. And then if you remember, I deleted all my characters, and I started over. And where I'm at is 238 is where I'm at. I haven't really been hammering the double XP. Um, 70, 80 levels, maybe 74 levels I have. Because I was cleared when double XP started, and been careful not to pick any perk cards since double XP started, so I could keep track. So I've only pulled 74 levels from double XP, which isn't anything crazy. I actually thought it was 80. And I haven't done really. Only thing I've done today is build and go to Fashnot, and usually I remember after it's already 5 minutes into it. So I really have just been grabbing the reward and leaving. Um, so I think I've only leveled up one time today. Um, but I'm in a fairly good spot. Um, I have a bow build. I mean, I've leveled up some legendary cards a little bit, so this is a little bit messy. So these builds will need to be worked. Melee, I have a melee build. But I won't come here and use this right now because switching from guns to melee involves removing and taking mutations. And I gotta do some story work before I can get in there and start buying the serums, and I don't want to piss with that when I don't have easy access. Um, and then I did make a just a shit Tesla build. Um, for like if radiation rumble pops or something like that, I can throw this on real quick and grab a Tesla rifle and go. Because I wanted something that was going to be really good for tagging, but also decent enough for damage that if I accidentally leave the house with this build on, not knowing it, I'm not going to get my shit pushed in. Um, so I mean, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place with this character, and I've been maining the Anchor Jace. I think you should too. Best gun in the game. So anyway, that's where we're at, and that's really all I've been doing is running Fashnot and building dumb camps. So until and yes, I heard about the new update and the legendary bullshit and all that, and I have mixed feelings, and I'm gonna wait until some dust settles and some people get their emotions out, and I'm not gonna delve into it right now because I'm convinced that something is going to happen. We're going to get that but I don't think it's in its final form. So I don't want to be the guy that tells X number of people this is how it's going to fucking be, and they go and fuck over their whole inventory, and then I'm wrong because there's already guys out there doing that. Not going to name names, but you know who they are because they're like the three biggest guys. And they think that this is written in fucking stone, and they're telling you to do this and scrap this and stock up on this and make 500 fucking mules and forget about your legendary modules and no, I don't think it's going to be like everybody thinks it is. Okay, we're going to get some degree of this, but not all of it. So at some point we'll dive into that. But I wanted to kind of just bring you up to speed on where I was with this camp that I was screwing around with and the character. And I also figured it's been a few days, so I would check in. So until the next, I don't know, video, I've been 7.